Welcome to the Cone Zone. I'm your host, the Cone Commander, and today we dive into what an MHT is. For the traveling public's info, in order to do road work, planning has to be made. Part of that planning is a traffic control plan, and part of that is an MHT. MHT stands for Method of Handling Traffic. MHTs are legal documents that have to be prepared by a state or ATSA certified TCS, which are then to be approved by a governing agency in the area of the work. MHTs are designed by following the cases approved by the MUTCD, the feds, and the DOT standards. MHTs are basically a plan or guideline for how you're going to handle the flow of traffic during work. On your MHTs, you will see sign spacing for your signs in a specific sequence for the traveling public. You cannot space your signs any closer to each other than what the MHT says. Sign spacing usually depends on the road type and what the speed limit is. Interstates differ. Key methods of handling traffic include using temporary signals, cones, drums, VPs, and barriers to manage flow, creating designated detours, and prioritizing pedestrian and emergency vehicle routes. Now, like I said, it's a guideline, so depending on the terrain or situation that you find yourself in, you may have to distance your signs further apart or make adequate changes. You can always go more, never less. An MHT is a legal document, and in the event of an inspection or an accident, you want to make sure you have your MHT with you, signed by you, the contractor, and the state. These requirements vary depending on what kind of project it is. Keep in mind, there have to be approvals before you even set a sign. There was a job I was on a few years ago where the contractor and the city wanted me to do a road closure. The days leading up to setting the road closure, my office was so busy that they didn't have the chance to submit an MHT. So the day before setting the road closure, I had a meeting with the contractor and the city and basically drew up my MHT on a napkin. Everyone agreed, signed, and boom, I had a method of handling traffic. Now, would I recommend this? No, but if you are compliant with all local laws, standards, and guidelines, this is an option. Remember, if anyone gets hurt in your work zone, not only is the contractor and your company liable, so are you. When you get your TCS license, it's very important to know that everyone's lives that travel through your work zone are in your hands. This is all from an in the field point of view. I don't make MHTs professionally. We have very nice ladies in our office in charge of that. But as a TCS, it is your duty to know how to accurately and safely read and implement an MHT. That wraps up this episode of the Cone Zone, your inside look at the world of traffic control. Thanks for joining us as we set the foundation for safer, smarter roads and better work zones. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive deeper into the challenges and innovations shaping the industry. Until then, stay alert, stay safe, and keep traffic moving.